Hi, and welcome to the Press Enterprise High School Football Video Podcast. I'm Press Enterprise Sports Editor Tim Hare, and I've got our assistant editor Dan Reilly here with me. We're going to talk some Danville football. So, we're 5 weeks through the season. What do you think about Danville at this point?
Well, it's been, when you think about last year, the Ironmen finishing 1-9, it was a tough season. They didn't have a lot of kids on the roster. I think if you were to ask Coach Jim Kaiser right now if his team was 2-3, I think he would be okay with those results. The Ironmen have faced some tough teams, and to be 2-3 midway through the season with some winnable games on the schedule coming up, I think they're doing all right, but they're also kind of self-inflicting some.
Finish that sentence. Finish that thought.
They're self-inflicting.
They're shooting themselves in the foot.
They're shooting themselves in the foot. They're not finishing drives. They're not scoring touchdowns, and it's really taken a toll on them the past 3 weeks.
Now, the 3-game losing streak that they're currently in, how much of that is a product of the teams they've played? You know, they've given up 300-yard rushers, but it's Kyle Karicki from Mount Carmel and Marty Clark from Loyal Sock.
Yeah. And
then obviously they played Southern as well. So how much is what, just the level of competition they're playing, and how much is just, are they just a 2-3 team?
I would probably say more so it's the level of competition at this point. Like you said, with Marty Clark, a Loyal Sock running back who's very good. They've seen Southern and their stable of backs, which is also very good. And then you have Kyle Karicki put up the single game rushing record for Mount Carmel last week. And I think Danville has done a good job on defense. It's just a matter of they're facing some really good offensive lines and some even better running backs right now.
Are you surprised with what Trent Hilkert's been able to do? I think he's the third leading rusher in the area. He's over 500 on pace for about 1,100. Is he a surprise?
Not at all. Not to me, anyway. I've seen Trent for the past couple years now. Last year, he didn't have a great offensive line to run behind. This year, he does have a much improved offensive line, a more experienced offensive line. So he's got that working, to his advantage. He's also taken the time to really hone in his skills. I think he's more so this year a typical fullback that Danville has been used to in the past few years.
Yeah, that central figure in the wing tee.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's definitely grown into that role in these first 5 games. I think he only continues to get better.
Now, before the season, Jim Kaiser talked about how he felt Gannon Feldman had matured as a quarterback. Mm-hmm. Where do you think his maturation is right now?
I think in some ways he's he really has matured as a quarterback. He's taking control of the offense. You can see it in every game. There's no more questioning within the offense. Last year you had guys who weren't confident in. They were confident in his abilities, but they weren't 100% confident in those abilities. Just because he was he's a young quarterback. He was essentially learning on the fly. So for him to take a step back, during the summer and kind of think about, okay, I've had this experience from last year that didn't go that well. What can I do better in order to get other guys to follow me? I think he's really taken over that leadership role, and I think he's done a nice job with the confidence, because it's not easy to face Mount Carmel defense like that, a Loyal Sock team that is traditionally been very, very good recently, at least. Southern obviously is it's a whole different ballpark, and the games that they did win, Bloomsburg and someone, it's leaving me now.
Dig deep.
I've only covered every game. Mifflinburg in weeks 1 and week 2. Those were, I think they were quality wins against pretty decent opponents. So, he's got one more win this season than he did last year. So I think the confidence has really, I don't think he's lost. I think he's gaining more as the season progresses.
Now, and I get the sense that we're running out of time here. So real quick, yes or no. Right now, Danville's on the outside looking in. They are Oh, a good 220 points behind Mount Carmel for that 8th spot in District 4 2A. Does Danville make the playoffs?
I'm gonna say right now, no. I think Class AA is just too tough right now. Just looking at it, we've got Troy, Southern, Loyal Sock as the top 3.
Well, when you look at that top 5,
Yeah.
you know, Troy's in the northern tier, and if, you know, that's a question mark.
It's
every
an
year.
unknown for us.
And then you look
yeah.
at that murderer's row: Southern, Loyal Sock, Lewisburg, Montoursville.
Exactly.
Just throw up your hands.
Yep.
You know, that's 4 spots
And
right
if
there
you,
that are
right,
locked
if
down.
you stick another team in like in Athens, Hughesville's playing very well this year, and Mount
And obviously
Carmel.
Mount Carmel.
Yeah, they're playing out of their mind right now. So, if I had to say right now, I don't think the Ironmen make District 4 Class AA playoffs.
Yeah, I feel like they're building to something, but I think maybe they're a year away.
I think so too.
Well, that is all we have on Danville Ironman football. But if you liked what you heard, we're going to be doing these podcasts every week. And if you're curious about more content on high school football, you can go to pressenterpriseonline.com. There you'll find all our stories and tweets. You'll find links to our weekly playbook, which is full of previews of all the week's games. And you can check out the daily paper for my predictions. They're always right. Don't fact check that. And all the other stuff that we provide on high school football. So please check that out. And until next week, I'm Press Enterprise Sports Editor Tim Hare. This is Dan Reilly, and we will talk to you later.